Hi there, I wanted to show you two things that I picked up at the shop that was really value for money, and it's in terms of crafting and creating on a budget. It's you know, it's worthwhile looking around to see what things that you can buy that you can use for a craft activity. Okay, so for the first one, it's like a non-stick mesh, and they have two varieties. So one is this shape. You can fry with it, and you know, so it says let's see, so I've got the packaging. Basically, it's an oven mesh. It's a reusable oven mesh. So I was looking at this one because I brought the round one because I was thinking about using it in some of a craft project, but I haven't yet decided what craft project to use it for. And then I saw this and I thought this would be really ideal for stenciling. It was £1, and then you can cut it up to whatever size you want if you want. And I'll probably halve it and do some smaller ones, so for some smaller activities. And I was thinking to myself, if I brought to buy a stencil like this, well, it would be more than £1, obviously. And then for this size, and I can, as I say, I can have whatever size I want, and then you can spray. And I'll show you some designs I've already done. The biggest value for money I found was this. Now this is, they call it a, it's for like the sink. So it's a rubber sink mat, and you put it either by the sink to put things on to stop them from moving about, or I think you can put it in the sink. But they had, I mean, look at this. This is lovely. I mean, in terms of the stenciling, being able to stencil, it's like thin rubber. They had some other ones that had some flowers, but they were thicker. And this cost me £2.50 for this size. And it's like 12 by 12. And, I mean, I'm even thinking, go back and get another one, and I can cut it up and then just arrange it how I want. So this one is good, but I could have one that, you know, was just like a repeating pattern or whatever. But for £2, £2.50, it was really good. I mean, I did wonder whether it would be too thick, but this one is actually fine, and I'll show you how I've used it in I've used it on paper. So I've just done this on the paper, spray painted through it, and with the you can see with the wire mesh. On fabric as well, I did a couple of tries. So we've got here with the circles, and the wire mesh one came up quite good as well, having a lighter colour underneath and a darker colour. I also did it on this one with slightly different colours. So we've got the wire mesh, sorry, not the wire mesh, but the circles, and it looks quite cute. And then this is the mesh. So these are just fabrics that this is like the first layer of paint or decoration. I think on this I was practicing some glue stencils, and then I did one more, which was, this is just, again, this is just what I did with this one was, you get the mesh. So when I sprayed it, when I first sprayed it, show you, when I first sprayed it, what was left on this side, I took this and just patted it off. And so this is from the reverse of that. So I thought that was really, I was really pleased with those two, because I've always wanted some stencils like this, you know, like that. So if I've got a page, say this big, I can do like a spray the first layer if I wanted to, or like with this, just, you know, you can cover a larger surface area. Okay, so that's that. The other thing that I found, I'm just going to move this away, out of the way, and show you. The other thing was some cami leather. So it comes like this, in a square, and I don't know how they do it, so I guess these are just strips that the best cuts out of whatever the waste product is. And again, in the pound store you can get them for £1, so it's leather, and I've been painting them. So I applied layers of paint, and this is what, if you look a bit closer, so lots of paint, glitter, different colours. You can add some stenciling. I did some stenciling on one, and then you can use this any way you want. It's quite thin when it starts off with, but once it's got some additional layers of paint, although no, actually that's not correct. Some of the bits that they've sewn together, some of them are thick, so this particular one, I'm feeling it's thicker than this particular one, but it doesn't matter, you know, it's a piece of leather that you can, and the sizes are slightly, are they different? Slightly, maybe just a little bit. So there's gonna be a variety, but essentially, you know, it's nice to be able to, if you wanted to do a leather project made with leather, where you're sewing stuff together, you could maybe do a trial on, say, one of these strips, or, and I love the smell, and you know, create something that's quite useful. And this is then quite durable, and you can stretch it to how you want. I've used on here, I've used just acrylic paint and some fabric paints. I've used a variety, but you can do whatever you want. So I'll show you one of the things I've made. So this is one of the projects I did out of leather. I did this mini, it's like a mini journal, and I'll go a bit closer there so that you can get a better look. And all I did was stamp the leather, and then I got it's all made with recycling material. I got these, the cover is made from these bits of foam, so it's kind of bendy, and I've just covered it in the leather, as you can see. This is how it looks. So I did a stencil design using spray paints, and then I've just covered it in ribbon, and then I've got some beads. These are all from the charity shop, all the beads, buttons, and all of these. And then I made there's 3 signatures. I sewed each signature together separately, and then using, this is fabric sticker, just kind of stuck them together, and then did the end papers like decorative. And before I attached those papers, I sewed on the button. See on there, you've got the button, you've got some more beads, and then on the back as well, where I attached this tie piece, the thread. This is made of twine, and so the idea is that it goes round there and goes around there a couple of times. So I might cut that. I haven't yet decided. I was going to do add some beads to this. So this is what, you know, as I say, all of the beads and the embellishments all came from the charity shop, so they were a lot cheaper than you would pay if you bought them in the store. I've even got this a bead kind of bookmark. So the bookmark is made of beads. The paper is kind of A6, and I'm just trying to kind of cut it to suit, and I'm just going to use it like as mini sketches. It's like watercolor paper, so these are not entirely straight. They were straight when they were together. It's because of the shape of the book, like that middle section. But it works for me, and it's a nice little, I mean, like a travel diary. I can do that one twice and then put it round. Yeah, so I'm going to put some beads on here and at the end. And these hang nicely. Yeah, so it's great what you can do with, you know, from this to this and then that. I mean, this one is a bit more involved in terms of adding layers, but essentially it's just decorated to suit however you're feeling. Because I'd done this one, stenciled this one, and I just thought, okay, it's got a very kind of, thinking like Bollywoody type, just it reminds me, the button, the beads and the colours that I've used, and even some of these. Yeah, so I might do some more beading on these here, and I've got some at the back that I can do, and this itself. I did do a video of me making the first part of the process, but then I ran out of film. But I'll probably be making another one out of this and show you how it will make, again, something this size. I might make it slightly bigger. Might make it that size. But it will be, obviously these are, no, it's going to probably be A6. Yeah, A6 size. And then whatever's left over will probably be about the same size. Yeah, I might make another one out of this one, and I'll show you the process for this one and how we, you know, take the leather and kind of adapt it. And now I've got my new stencils, we can use those and just do some more beading, and I'll show you. These are really great, they're chunky. I'd be careful in terms of how you carry it in your bag, if you're carrying it in your bag. But with it being leather, I think it's quite durable. It's just the beads are quite delicate. But it's got a lot of lovely pages. As I say, these cards were just sitting around. I was doing something else with it, and they were just left in a pile. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I hope I've inspired you to go to your, this was the mesh I got in the pound store, and the sink drainer one I got in a shop called TK Maxx. You might have one slightly different, but it was in their household section by the chopping boards and things like that. So if, you know, you're going into yours, and they had all different colours, but I thought that one would suit me. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.